A man named Cyrus and his gang fly a jet loaded with gold bars they stole from a ruthless terrorist named Jorgensen. However, it all takes a drastic turn when the jet breaks down mid-flight and crashes into Jorgensen's villa. Cyrus and his friends get captured by Jorgensen's men. Jorgensen doesn't want anyone to mess with him or touch his gold, so he points his gun at Cyrus and decides to shoot him dead. Some hours earlier, we see Cyrus, an international thief, and is here in Venice to steal something big. He goes inside the auction house, and to make sure everything is in order, Cyrus contacts his team. My Son the hacker, and Luke the engineer, along with Magnus the safecracker in London.
Let's show them what true artistry looks like.
Meanwhile, Abby, an Interpol agent, watches the auction from the camera footage. She closely watches Cyrus and waits for him to steal so she can arrest him. She knows he's a thief, but she needs to catch him red-handed to prove he's really a thief. A digital artist named N8 is introduced at the auction house. He's going to auction a mask littered with 482 cameras. It can create an NFT inspired by Van Gogh's paintings. The auction starts with Cyrus bidding $12 million for the mask. A tech boy named Molson tries outbidding Cyrus by $16.5 million, but a man named Denton bids $17.5 million. Eventually, Cyrus bids $20 million and wins the auction. Just then, Cyrus signals My Son to turn off the lights and sound the alarm,
I'm so sorry for the confusion, sir.
causing chaos in the place. Cyrus tells N8 to come to his yacht, where he'll get paid his $20 million for the mask, to which N8 agrees. Doing his part of the plan in London, Magnus sneaks inside the museum and cracks the safe to steal a Van Gogh painting and hands it over to Luke afterward. Cyrus and My Son take N8 to a boat where he gets to know Camila, the getaway driver, pilot, and also another one of Cyrus's team members. Abby investigates the auction house and figures out Cyrus took N8 with him.
Was to steal the artist.
So she goes outside and spots Cyrus and N8 on the boat, so she takes a boat and chases them. Cyrus spots them and has My Son hack into the barriers under the water and raises them. Cyrus and his crew make it to the other side before the barriers rise, but Abby fails, much to Cyrus's joy. Cyrus arrives at his yacht and pays N8 $20 million for his NFT. To celebrate having a great business relationship, Cyrus throws a party on his yacht and has a good time with N8. Abby watches the whole footage from the auction house and spots Denton faking his limp. Abby suspects he's working for Cyrus and has her colleague Ross look into him. The next day, it's all over the news that N8 is kidnapped. N8 wakes up hungover after the party on Cyrus's yacht and gets terrified when he reads on the news that he's been kidnapped. N8 asks Cyrus and his team who they are. Cyrus explains that he and his team steal works of art from their owners who don't deserve it, and this is the first time they steal an NFT. N8 tells Cyrus he paid him $20 million for the NFT. To this, Cyrus replies he had Magnus steal Van Gogh's portrait in London and sell it for $20 million in the market. That's where Cyrus got the $20 million to pay N8. N8 asks Cyrus why he kidnapped him then. Camila tells N8 it's not kidnapping. They borrowed him to make more money. Cyrus then explains that the Mona Lisa was first sold at $25,000, but after it went missing, its price became $890 million. The same idea applies to N8 and his NFT, which Cyrus bought for $20 million. Now that N8's been reported kidnapped all over the news, his NFT became in demand in the market as Cyrus and his team sold it for $89 million. Cyrus decides to give N8 $27 million from that money, much to N8's joy.
89 million. What?
As they drink to it, Cyrus asks where Denton is. Abby has Denton arrested for many charges like forgery, fraud, and stealing a Ferrari. As Abby interrogates him, she shows Denton a picture of himself with Cyrus, which is evidence that Denton works for Cyrus. Abby asks Denton what he knows about Cyrus, but Denton plays dumb and pretends he doesn't know anything. Abby reminds Denton that he committed fraud when he bid $17.5 million in the auction, since he didn't have that money. He's also going to prison for 20 years if he doesn't cooperate, but Denton sarcastically says no. Just then, a box is sent to Abby where she finds a picture of herself with Cyrus. The two were old flames and had a romantic relationship. Seeing that, Abby decides to get back to London to Interpol's headquarters. At the Interpol headquarters, Abby runs into her superior Huxley. He has her come to his office where he talks to her about Cyrus because Huxley wants to have him steal something for him. Having been hunting Cyrus for a while, Abby says no.
No.
Huxley tells her about a banker-turned-terrorist named Lars Jorgensen. He works with terror groups to manipulate stock prices so he can make a huge profit, not caring about the civilians who get killed. Huxley can't arrest Jorgensen legally because he has nothing against him. However, Huxley learned from an informant named Arthur that Jorgensen is currently working with a hacker terror group named Leviathan. Huxley explains that Jorgensen might have Leviathan hack into the water dams of any city around the world and cause a flood. Many innocents will die, but this will allow Jorgensen to manipulate stock prices and make billions of dollars. Huxley doesn't know which city Jorgensen will strike, but he knows Jorgensen is paying Leviathan with a shipment of $500 million in gold bars, which he will legally move from London to Zurich. Huxley can't stop that shipment since moving gold from one place to another is legal. That's why Huxley wants Abby to get Cyrus to steal that gold for Jorgensen. Abby says hell no, but being her superior, Huxley tells her that's an order, not a request. Abby goes to Cyrus's home and tells him Interpol wants him to steal the gold shipment from Jorgensen.
Lars Jorgensen kills both.
Knowing that Jorgensen kills anyone who gets in his way, Cyrus says hell no.
This is my role. I make you the offer, that's it.
No.
Abby presses Cyrus and tells him Interpol can arrest him and his crew for stealing the Van Gogh portrait. Denton told her everything. She also reminds Cyrus that Denton is in prison and might die there. If Cyrus accepts to do the job, Abby will not arrest Cyrus and his crew. They will all have immunity and get to live their lives peacefully. To this, Cyrus says yes on the condition that Abby joins his crew as insurance that Interpol won't leave Cyrus and his crew to die if something goes wrong or if they get captured by Jorgensen's men. The day after, Cyrus introduces Abby to the crew. Abby then tells the crew about the new job. She explains Jorgensen will move the gold from London to Zurich by a passenger plane. Cyrus and his crew will steal that gold from the plane while it's still in the air on its way to Zurich. However, the crew says hell no.
It's impossible.
Given how dangerous this job is and the ruthlessness of Jorgensen, Cyrus reminds them Abby has evidence against them that they stole Van Gogh's portrait. So either they all accept the job and live freely afterward or go to jail for life if they say no. Meanwhile, Arthur is captured and tortured by Jorgensen's man Cormac, who opens a video call with Jorgensen. Given that Arthur betrayed him and told Interpol about his operation with the Leviathans, Jorgensen has Cormac feed Arthur to the dog. After a day of planning for the gold heist, Cyrus comes up with a new idea. To steal the gold in the plane mid-flight, Cyrus needs to get a private jet to fly right under the plane to swap signals with it to make sure air traffic control won't spot the jet. That's why Cyrus goes to the tech boy Molson and offers to rent his private jet. In return, Cyrus will have N8 make an NFT for Molson, to which Molson agrees.
Bang, bang.
Now that they have a private jet, Cyrus and his crew plan out the heist. Every crew member has a role to play in that plan. Magnus will crack the vault where the gold will be. Camilla, the pilot, will figure out a way to fly the jet under the plane without getting detected by the plane's radar. And Luke will put N8's cameras on the jet to make sure Camilla can fly under the plane smoothly. However, there's one problem. Swapping signals between the plane and the jet must happen at the same time, and that is impossible since the jet and plane will be flying at a high speed. There's a big chance air traffic control will detect the jet as it flies near the plane. To solve this problem, Cyrus suggests bribing someone in air traffic control to cover for the jet when it pops up on their radar. That's why Cyrus and Abby meet up with an employee at air traffic control named Harry. Cyrus tells him to cover for the jet and have the pilot of the plane fly to Cortina. At first, Harry says no.
So, thanks, but no thanks.
But after Cyrus offers to pay him $1 million in cash, Harry immediately says, "Happy to be in business."
Happy to be in business with you.
Later, Cyrus's crew watches a news report about a flood all over Madrid, causing the deaths of many civilians. Cyrus immediately recognizes this as the doing of Jorgensen, who had the Leviathans hack into Madrid's water dams and flood the city to manipulate its stock prices and ultimately gain more money. To save the lives of his crew from Jorgensen, Cyrus decides to keep them out of the heist and do it by himself, but they all say no, since they love Cyrus and know that he can't do the heist by himself. Cyrus and his crew then add the last touches to their plan. They'll plant a signal jammer inside the plane to swap signals with the jet. Luke and Magnus plant N8's cameras on the jet and make sure the LED screen on the jet works fine. Cyrus tells Camila to follow the plane to Cortina and have a drone go to Zurich after the signals are swapped to make sure air traffic control won't notice the plane changed its course. Once the plane lands in Cortina, the gold bars will be loaded onto a train and taken to a station where Interpol agents will be waiting for it. Finally, Cyrus's team adds stealth mods to the jet to make sure it won't pop up on the plane's radar. Now their plan is ready. On the day of the heist, the team gets on the plane. Cyrus contacts his crew to see if everybody is in position. All of the crew are except for Luke, who pulls out at the last minute. He didn't get on the plane. After the plane takes off, my son spots 5 of Jorgensen's men on board. Camila flies the jet and approaches the plane. Cyrus tells Abby to do her part of the plan, so she goes to the bathroom, assembles the signal jammer to swap signals with the jet, and plants it inside the bathroom, but Abby drops it and breaks it. Abby panics, but Cyrus gets in and helps her assemble the signal jammer back.
Hurry up, eh? Come on.
Camila successfully flies under the plane. A woman in air traffic control spots the jet close to the plane on the radar and with the same signal. She tells Harry about it. Harry fools her and tells her it's just a glitch. Harry then calls the pilot flying the plane and has him fly to Cortina. Harry adds it's not safe to land in Zurich because of its extreme weather. The pilot says yes, and Harry contacts Camila and has her deploy the drone with the same signal as the plane to Zurich to make sure air traffic control won't notice the plane changed its course. The pilot of the plane announces to the passengers he's flying to Cortina, not Zurich. That means Jorgensen won't get his gold bars. That's why Jorgensen's men prepare to hijack the plane to force the pilot to fly back to Zurich. As Magnus goes to Jorgensen's vault to crack it, Jorgensen's men hijack the plane.
All right. Pay the captain.
To keep Jorgensen's men away from Magnus, Cyrus and Abby start a fight with them. Magnus successfully cracks the vault and finds Jorgensen's gold bars in them. Cyrus and Abby take down Jorgensen's men and go to check on Magnus, but Cormac holds them at gunpoint. The plane crashes as it lands in Cortina before Camila safely lands the jet right behind it. Cyrus, Abby, and Magnus are captured now. Cormac calls Jorgensen and tells him about Cyrus's team trying to steal their gold. Jorgensen tells Cormac to bring him the gold along with Cyrus's team. Cormac decides to have Camila fly them back to Zurich. Camila tells him the jet can't take too much weight with the gold bars in it, so Cormac has his man take Magnus away from the jet. Meanwhile, Huxley learns about where the plane landed and about the jet, so he has his man Stefano track where it is.
What are you doing standing here? Go find it.
Cormac has Camila fly the jet to Italy, where Jorgensen's house is. While held at gunpoint, Camila secretly tilts the jet to shake off the stealth mods to make the jet easier to track and get some help. Meanwhile, Magnus is still in the airfield with Jorgensen's man holding him at gunpoint, but Magnus disarms him and gets away. Stefano tracks the jet and tells Huxley it's going to Italy where Jorgensen is. Not wanting Jorgensen to get the gold and pay the Leviathan hackers, Huxley decides to call NATO and has them bomb the jet, even though he knows that Abby might be on it. Meanwhile, the Leviathan leader meets up with Jorgensen and tells him she wants the gold bars.
Where is the gold?
She threatens to empty his bank accounts if she doesn't get paid. Meanwhile, NATO airplanes surround the jet and threaten to bomb it. Harry contacts NATO and warns them about the civilians on the jet. NATO then tells this to Huxley, but Huxley orders them to shoot the jet down anyway, not wanting Jorgensen to get the gold. Jorgensen's men get distracted by the NATO planes outside. Cyrus takes advantage, attacks them, and has Abby write NATO a message on the LED screen, telling them there are civilians on the jet. NATO forces decide to stand down and not bomb the jet, not wanting to kill civilians.
Standing down and breaking off.
Cyrus and Abby brawl with Cormac. Cormac tells his man to have Camila land the jet, so Cormac's man holds Camila at gunpoint, but Camila knocks him out and breaks her wrist in the process. Cyrus has Abby open the jet's door with the remote control, causing Cormac to fall off the jet. The jet is going down, as Camila can't fly it with her broken wrist, so she guides Cyrus and Abby to pull it up and save it. All seems okay until one of the stealth mods is shaken off the jet and hits it in its stabilizer. The jet breaks down mid-flight and is now about to crash. Unfortunately, it crashes and lands right in Jorgensen's villa. Cyrus, Camila, and Abby survive the crash, but end up getting captured by Jorgensen's men. Jorgensen comes down and asks Cyrus who he is. The Leviathan leader gets a message that one of Cyrus's team is an Interpol agent, so she tells Jorgensen she's out and the deal is cancelled. Jorgensen shoots her in the leg and asks her not to cancel the deal. The Leviathan leader says no,
Do we still have a deal?
so Jorgensen shoots her dead and then asks Cyrus's team who the Interpol agent is. Abby is about to give herself up, but Cyrus decides to sacrifice, tells Jorgensen he's the Interpol agent and to let Camila and Abby go. Jorgensen decides to shoot Cyrus, but the Italian police forces arrive just in time. Jorgensen drops his gun, and Abby tells the police Jorgensen shot the Leviathan leader. Jorgensen tells the police Cyrus's team broke into his property, tricking the police into pointing their guns at Cyrus. Thanks to N8's cameras that were on the jet, Jorgensen was filmed when he shot the Leviathan leader, so Cyrus has Mi-Sun play the footage on the jet's LED screen. Seeing the footage, the police arrest Jorgensen.
Porca miseria!
Huxley and Stefano arrive. Abby learns from Stefano that Huxley was about to have NATO bomb the jet, knowing that she might be in it. Seeing her boss doesn't care about her safety, Abby slaps Huxley and tells him she quits. She's no longer an Interpol agent and now decides to join Cyrus's crew. Weeks later, Abby and Cyrus fall in love. Cyrus also tells her that they stole Jorgensen's gold bars. While Abby and Cyrus recruited Harry earlier, Magnus brought some iron bars and painted them gold. Cyrus had the fake gold bars loaded into the plane when he and his team got on it.
What?
Yeah.
How?
While Cyrus and Abby were fighting Jorgensen's men, Magnus cracked the vault, swapped the real gold bars for the fake ones, and dropped the real gold bars off the plane through a parachute. Luke was never out of the game. Cyrus had him remotely control where the gold bars landed. As for Huxley, he ended up with the fake gold bars, which are practically nothing. Cyrus and Abby meet up with the team. Luke gives Cyrus the remote control to do the honors, but Cyrus gives it to Abby and has her raise the real gold bars to the surface of the river. Cyrus's team then celebrates the success of the biggest heist they've ever done, as they now have $500 million worth of gold bars in their hands.